WNBA. Let's go. Fast break, no fear, we play to win. Strength and power, let the game begin.
Welcome, everyone. You've reached the discussions from the East Coast to the West Coast, and I'm Grandma Mo.
And I'm Lisa DCT.
Okay, so we had the WNBA draft yesterday, and boy, it was filled with all sorts of stuff, wasn't it?
How quick the week changes things for everybody, huh?
Yeah. I've been on a high from the UCLA stuff, and I've been watching so much stuff on UCLA. I watched them go to the Lakers. They went to the Clippers. They went on Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah.
They've been on Good Morning America. Just really cool. Really cool. Just
I was so happy. I was happy for the entire team. Your entire team was drafted, which is nice. Your starters, and with each one, you and I were talking about it. Well,
yep.
Texting.
Yeah.
And it was an incredible night for their coach, for the players. And how about Lauren Betts looking like a Kardashian?
Lauren Betts looked really nice.
Wow.
She looked like a model. She looked like a model. There's something to be said for tall, these tall women in these gowns and stuff, or whatever you call them.
Victoria's Secret. That'll be the next thing.
Yeah.
Or Sports Illustrated swim edition.
It's interesting because, she went through that whole self depression or whatever she went through as, between her freshman and sophomore years, and to see her come like full circle like this.
Amazing.
It's just so terrific. It's so terrific. And she's still, I saw her after she got drafted, her interview. She was so grateful and so humble. And, she's just like, oh, well, I'm going to just suck up everything I can, learn from Shakira and, my teammates. And, it's really cool. You have, I almost feel bad for Gabby and, Gabriella. Someone called her Gabby and she said, well,
Gabriella.
so, it's like Gabriella.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have Hawkes and Kiki Rice are going to individual teams where you have Betts and Dukelich going to the same team, and their assistant coach
now.
Yeah, assistant coach Michaela Olien. I never say her last name right. Olienwene is going to be their teammate.
Yes. Yeah.
She's on Washington.
No, Maureen. Now you're going to have to cross country with the dogs, go to Washington, hit a Connecticut Sun game because we got your other Bruin.
That's my next thing is you have Gianna Neepkins and Charlie Sledger-Walker on Connecticut.
Yeah.
So they got teammates. So, we'll see if they all make it. They're good enough to make it, but it's all a matter of if there's room. Because with all this free agency stuff, all these players went all over the place.
Oh, so many trades. It was crazy to watch it this week. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
So many people left. So many teams in the rebuild. So much excitement. Really, every team is on a rebuild. You can't say there's one team that isn't. So everybody's starting at the beginning.
Except for Vegas. Vegas and New York pretty much stayed the same.
Yeah. They did.
Although picking up Satu Sabally in New York, that's interesting.
Yeah. And treating her sister went to where? Either Portland or Toronto.
I can't remember which one she went to, but she got picked up in the, but having, Sabrina and Satu back together, because Satu, there was something going on in Phoenix with her last year.
Yeah.
Because she disappeared for a little while. She was not happy about something there. And, it never came out what that was.
Some of the contracts, it's like you don't really know. Like, I haven't heard anything about Alyssa Thomas. I haven't heard anything other than a re-sign.
Oh, she signed.
Yeah, she signed, but I don't know what, it's hush-hush. Bonner re-signed. Bonner re-signed. I don't know,
I saw a post, it's so, I wish they would do something about these posts that are, totally fake. I saw a post that Bonner was resigning from the WNBA because she had leukemia.
Oh, geez, that's terrible. Yeah,
It
somebody's
was
supposed to stay
horrible.
out. I know, that's terrible.
And then I see she signs. I'm like, okay, that was fake.
Yeah.
Like, what are these people doing? Like, they should be able to vet those things before. It's probably gone now, but I came across Facebook somewhere and it looked real and everything. And I thought, oh man, that's terrible. And then it's fake. Like, why are
Yeah,
you
I know,
saying
that's
something like that
terrible.
about somebody? It's just what to get clicks or
Yeah, that's what it is. Clickbait. Hey, you lost Monique Billings
I was sad about that.
going to play with
Our Valkyries. Happy
Caitlin,
about Gabby Williams, but I was, losing Mo Billings, and then Tammy Fag-Bentley hasn't re-signed.
right? I
We
know, but
won't
you
go
got
into the
some good
draft.
additions.
Well, Gabby Williams is phenomenal. I mean, Gabby Williams on the Valkyries is a perfect fit
Right.
because she's all defense and yet she can score too. And
Yeah.
she's a phenomenal athlete, and she's there with her French teammates, with, Janelle Salon, and I'm also bummed we lost Carla Late.
The other thing I don't remember, and you can correct me if you've heard of this, it's the first time in the draft that we had two players picked for a team, one being Flage, that within a half an hour got traded or an hour. Have you
It
seen
was
that
less than
before?
that, I think.
I know. It was
It
like a
was
real
really
quick
quick.
switch.
Well, I was watching last night I was watching some of the coaching interviews, like the
Yeah.
GM and the coach would sit down, and I was wondering about that because I'm just like, number one, I mean, there were a lot of people that loved the Flage pick for the Valkyries, but I hated it. I mean, we
Yeah.
were talking. I'm like, oh
No, I
no,
know.
she does not fit for the Valkyries. She
No.
is just not the right player for the Valkyries. And I
Yeah,
was,
she's better in Seattle. I felt
oh,
bad
it's
for
much better for her.
her little brother. They switched caps, but he still had the Valkyrie cap on underneath. I'm like, oh, poor kid. Goes up the
Yeah,
Holly Row. I think she's much better in Seattle myself.
I do too. That's a much better fit for her. But the other thing that surprised me is where the bigs went when the guards, like the top four. Everybody knew who the top four was. It was like, okay, who's going to go where? And I thought for sure Cheryl Reeve, especially after losing Alana Smith and Jessica Shepard, I thought there's no way that
She's gonna.
Cheryl Reeve is going to pass up on Lauren Betts.
I did too. You
And
should
she
have heard
went
me.
point guard.
Yeah. I went, oh shit.
But they
Really?
needed, after really looking at it, I mean, Courtney Williams isn't a real, she's a two guard. She's not really a
Right.
point guard. And it's like, well, okay, I get that. But, I'm not as high on Olivia Miles as everybody else is, or a
Right.
lot
No,
of people seem to
I
be.
agree. But I have to say, because she liked my message. We go back and forth. I did. I was happy for Courtney. She's been in the league a long time. She got a 3-year contract or 2-year contract for 2.4. I think it's 2-year. 2.4. She's a millionaire. I
Oh,
love
yeah.
it.
Good
Good
for
on
her.
her. Yeah,
I
I'm
wonder
happy
how
for
much
her.
Heidemann got, because Heidemann went to Seattle, didn't she?
Yeah, I don't think she's made out as good as the other stud bud. The other shocker was
Well,
uh,
Courtney Williams is older.
right, and Sparks with Plum gave her 999,000. Some fan gave her $1.
Yeah.
And she made it for one year.
$999,999.
Yeah, for one year.
Yeah,
I'm
one
like,
year for
hey,
Plum.
she's
Well,
not
how old is
complaining.
Kelsey? Isn't she
I
like
don't know,
31?
but she's up there now.
Yeah,
But
she's getting up there.
a lot of contracts with a lot of money that got max contracts, still waiting on Asia Wilson, waiting to see what happens with her. And a lot of them are hush hush.
Yeah, Fee, have you, Stewie's contract hasn't been shown
Nope,
either. Haven't
nope,
seen that one.
not a Nescu. I haven't seen anything what
Yeah.
she's making. So a lot of them either they plan to announce it. What was the biggest like surprise of the older players moving to other teams? Did you go ooh on any of them?
Satu, I wasn't surprised she left Phoenix.
Yeah, no,
just because of what happened there last year.
yeah.
Um, so I wasn't really surprised at that. Um, I'm trying to go through in my mind, like who really
I'm
left.
thinking NECA when she
Well,
was,
you could tell Seattle because something was going on in Seattle last year
yeah,
and
because
then
Diggins
like they
ditched
all
too.
left. Who
Yeah,
Izzy at Magdalore is the only one left.
right,
And I'm surprised she stayed there, especially with, they picked our fam and they already have Malanga. Like,
right.
why did you pick a big? Washington did the same thing. They have Shakira Austin. And when I had when Shakira Austin right before the draft, they had announced that Shakira Austin's offer sheet for the tempo was matched.
Yeah,
So I thought, oh, that must mean Cheryl Reeve is taking Lauren Betts or our fam. They were going to go big. But the opposite happened. It was like Dallas picked guard. They went guard, and so did Minnesota. So the
right.
top two picks went guards.
Yeah, I
And I
know.
thought, when they needed bigs. But,
I know.
I mean, there's an argument to say, I mean, Minnesota definitely needed a point guard. But, like, and then already having bigs, Seattle and Washington picked bigs.
Yeah,
So they're going to be monstrous.
I know.
They're going to be, I mean, the front line, holy crap. Washington's front line is Betts, Austin, Kiki Iriefin, and Angela Dukelich. That's 6'4", 6'4", 6'7", and 6'5".
Yeah.
Between their four bigs.
They should start calling them the Golden Dome. Not gonna get
Whew,
anything over that.
that's
Chelsea
just,
Chelsea Gray is gonna finally have a problem with her fade back jumper.
and then you have Seattle, they have Pham and they have Dominic Malonga. Like, and then you go over to Atlanta. Like,
I
I
got
mean, well,
Angel.
Atlanta actually lost some height because BG left,
Yeah,
and you have Bree Jones. How tall is Bree Jones? Like 6'3"? How tall is she?
I think she's taller than 6'3", but
Yeah, I think so too. I can't remember.
she's not. Brianna Jones is good. She's a big body, but she's not as
She's not
athletic
a
as
huge
someone of
offensive
6.
threat. Yeah,
No,
yeah,
as
she's just
she's a
hard to
big
move
body.
out of the paint.
If the
She's hard to
ball's
move
on
out
the
of the paint.
ground, she's falling on it. She's not reaching down for it. She's falling on
I-
it.
like Atlanta, like they didn't really add that much. And who did Atlanta pick? Let me see. Atlanta
No, and
picked
they got,
Okot. Oh, that was the other thing. They picked 6'6" Okot.
yeah,
She's 6'6", but I don't think she's ready for the WNBA yet.
you know,
I mean, I watched her play. She's a big body to put in there, but she is she's going to need some work. Let's see. Oh, one of the surprise. Well, everybody thought it was a surprise, but we had talked about earlier. One of the picks that Seattle got, um, Tiana Mayer from Duke. She caught my eye in the tournament. I was like, oh, she's a good point guard. That was a great pick for Seattle.
yeah,
I thought she was, and people are like, oh, everybody was crabbing about what's her name, Tanaya Latson,
yeah,
and she fell way down. And it's just like, well, Mare is what 5'11". Some of these players, like from the South Carolina players, were too short, and that was shown in the championship game. They could not work over 6-foot Gabby Huckes, 5'11" Kiki Rice. Neepkins is 6 feet tall. Dukelich is 6'4". They're too short.
yeah.
And the speed gets you from one end of the court to the other, but after that, the height takes over, which is, I mean, I don't know.
It's going to be interesting because there's players that come to mind, like for one, like Dana Evans, who
Mhm.
gets
She's
bounced
five
around.
six.
It's like, what's going to happen to her? I
She
don't know.
signed.
Oh, she did
I,
sign.
yeah, I
Well,
saw it
if she
yesterday.
signed, I didn't see it.
She signed with the hold on, let me see if I can
And
find.
then you got some of the old vets like Dolson. She moved to the Storm. She went to Seattle.
She
No,
went to
yeah, she
Seattle.
went to
So there's
Seattle.
another big.
There
She's
you
six
go.
five. So they have another big. Yeah, she signed with Vegas. Let me see if
Oh, she did. Because
yeah.
I didn't see that. Well, that's good.
Mm,
She
it's
comes
funny you
off the
can't
bench anyway,
trying
but
to.
she's not big. These
No, she's
girls are
five
big.
six.
This is a big class of girls,
Yes,
women, but you know what I mean,
women. Yes,
girls. You
women.
know, I mean,
Um,
but it is. It's like, wow.
yeah, I mean, even Olivia Miles is 5'10", 5'10".
Yeah.
Azzi Fudd is 5'11". Um, and then you go down the list here, the first round, Hawkes going to the sky was a little surprising to me. But she's like the Energizer Bunny.
I was
She's
so
gonna fit in
happy
wherever she
for her.
goes.
I was happy for her family. The families were incredible. Beth's brother, he was breaking down. Big, tall family. You know, her
Yeah,
dad is super tall. Her mom's so nice. Her sister, they're just so grateful to be in that situation. And it was
yeah,
great to watch each family,
yeah,
how much they supported, their daughters over the years.
yeah.
That was great.
I mean, Mama Betts has been on Twitter or one of the social media things saying, "Hey, I'm your information here. You want to come to because they're recruiting people, and
Yeah.
UCLA has already backfilled 3 players already."
Yeah, I saw that. You sent I know. Well, who wouldn't want to play there?
I know. I'm
You know?
shocked some of these other because I thought some of those Texas players might go, like
Yeah.
Crump or Lee, but they're all staying in the SEC or
Yeah.
in that.
Everybody
There
thinks
was
that they're important and go into the portal until they realize nobody's grabbing them right off, and then they got to make a decision. I was surprised that Ice Brady went in the portal from UConn. I told you that the other day. I was
yeah.
like, oh boy, here we go.
Well, she's not getting any playing time, or she gets very little, and she's 6'5", isn't she?
Right. Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
But
I actually think she'd be a good for she only has 1 year left, I think. She'd be great. It'd be great to send her to UCLA because
there's
UCLA is another big now.
there's two things that they said last night. Well, online that I was watching. Number one, where is Gino? And it's like, take it easy. He's at a funeral. Someone passed
Yeah,
away. He couldn't be there.
yeah,
Number two was, why isn't Paige at the table like Easy was last year? Probably because she's already in the WNBA and that
yes,
wouldn't be a good look.
yeah.
That's why
You
she
take the
kind of,
attention away from Maisie. Yeah,
exactly, that's her
yeah,
moment. And that was great thing to do. Great thing to do.
yeah. One of the other things that I found out this morning, I was watching some of the interviews, and Charlize Ledger Walker, who ended up going 18th to your Connecticut Sun. You have two
Yeah.
UCLA Bruins.
Yes, we do.
Neepkins, you're gonna love Neepkins. She can shoot. She is a 40. She is a 50, 40, 90 player. She can shoot.
Unlike the last year that they're going to be here, and
I
what a
know.
team they're starting to create.
Yeah.
What the frig?
But Ledger Walker said, Charlie's she's so sweet. You're gonna love her too. She's so sweet. She's really funny. She has her own YouTube channel and she does all this crazy stuff. Like she was betting. There was one of them. She went into some of the frat houses and
Yeah,
she was betting the frat boys with the ping pong ball into the cup. The
yeah,
drinking game,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
the pong game. And they had to come. She won, so they had to come to a game.
Oh, fun.
And then they became like, great fans for the rest of the year. But she was going around doing stuff like that, which
Oh my
was
God,
really
that's great.
fun. But what
Yeah,
she said was, she said, she goes, she was the only one that wasn't invited
yeah,
out of all the UCLA players. And it was just like, okay, she's just going to go early in the second round. Little early, she was like, what, 18th, so she was
yeah.
third in the second round there. But she was just like, because some reporter asked her like, well, you didn't get invited, were you going to go? And she goes, of course she goes, all my UCLA teammates were there to support our team.
Exactly. 100%.
Yeah, and she got her family to go. Well, one of the really cool thing was she said Angela Dugalich gave her, because if you get invited, you get so many, I guess, seats at the table.
Yes.
Angela Dugalich gave up two of her seats so Charlie's Ledger Walker could have her family there.
Ah, that's
And I
great.
thought, man, Dugalich is the ultimate team player.
Yeah.
And we were talking about it off. I wanted Dugalich for the Valkyries
Yeah.
so bad. I,
And
I was just like, no,
That's what Lauren Betts kept saying last night. That,
yes,
what am I going to be? I'm going to be a great teammate,
yeah.
and I'm going to learn. And, and that's what I think all the UCLA women have,
Well, they
is
proved
that,
it worked.
yeah,
They proved it
exactly.
worked. We played team sports, and it's not, there's too much focus on, oh, who you going to build around. You don't want to
Right.
build around one person. You want to build around five people. It's
Correct.
much stronger than one. And you see this all the time. They're looking for these stars. And, even Asia Wilson can't do it by herself. Fee can't
No,
do it by herself.
no,
Brianna Stewart can't do it by herself.
no,
And it's like, when are these people going to realize you have to have a team? And I mean,
exactly.
the Valkyries proved that last year. Yeah, we could have used some more scoring, but they got that this year with Gabby Williams,
They
adding
did.
Gabby Williams. But Gabby Williams isn't going to do this 1-on-5 crap. That
No.
is the thing that has taken away from the NBA because there's too much 1-on-5 crap.
Rebecca Lobo gave the Valkyries their props for having such a great year and showing what a new franchise can do, what it
Yeah.
looks like. And, she wants that for Portland and Toronto, as we
Yeah.
all do, as we all
Yeah, you
do.
can't you can't be this 1-on-5 crap. And and that's why I thought Flage was a bad pick for the
Yeah.
Valkyries. I was pissed when they picked her. And then
I
I
know
was
you
thrilled when
were.
she got traded. And there's
I know
nothing
you were.
against Flage.
No,
Nothing
I know.
against It's just not the right fit with the Valkyries.
I get you.
Because the Valkyries are this, not, oh, let's let this person go off.
It wasn't her outfit that turned you off.
No,
Well,
I didn't care about their
no, I
outfits. I
know.
mean,
I'm
some of
only
them,
kidding
some
you.
of them were very elegant. I mean,
Yeah,
Lauren Betts
that
looked
was
wonderful.
I was going to wear that outfit today, the same one that Flage, just because it kind of went with the hat. But I said, nah, I better not shock her.
Some
I
of them
would
were
be,
some of them were freaky, like the
yeah,
the thing, the jacket with no shorts, like they had
yeah.
shorts or something.
I
Like
don't know. I don't know if
I don't
she
know
did
what
or
was
she
under
didn't.
there. Like
Yeah,
I mean, the long elegant gown thing was beautiful. I mean, that
yeah,
was
it
just
was.
simple,
I would
very
be afraid
simple.
to move. I would be so
I don't know.
afraid to move. I mean, I know
Oh,
they get tape and all that. Listen, there's not enough duct tape in the world to
I
help
know.
me at this point in the game.
Yeah,
No freaking way. And I
yeah,
would feel very uncomfortable. I'd be
yeah.
like, okay, I'm
You're
not.
uncomfortable for them. Like,
But you
oh boy.
wouldn't think that. My mother's like, wow, when they were showing like what they look like on the court versus what they look like last night. She was like, you would never think, and I'm like, yeah, see. But yeah, some of
There
the
were some
outfits,
people I didn't even recognize. I was like, who's
exactly,
that? Like,
because their hair is down and they look
yeah,
different, and you're
yeah,
like, well, I know Courtney went last night. I saw her. She was
yeah,
there. She was at the, which is nice. They invite some of the veterans and they welcome to the league. She
yeah,
kept it on the low key,
yeah,
and but that was nice.
yeah. Corey Close was over there on the sidelines, and she
Yeah,
was just beaming.
she
She just had this
was.
nonstop smile on her
She
face.
was.
She
Good
was
for
just
her.
beaming. Yeah,
What a ending to just a great season and year for all of them to be able to
yeah.
see the girls you coach get into the WNBA. What a great thing. Oh, I did
Well,
want
it
to
was
say
just such a great story.
it was a great story and with a great ending. We don't
It was a
often
great
have that.
story.
We'll take it.
Yeah, that was like Hollywood. I mean, Hollywood ending.
Yeah, I
Just,
couldn't script
you
that.
fight like crazy because you got killed the year before, and everybody stays together and builds together and fights through it. And, you add Neepkins and Charlie Sledger Walker was there, but you lost Tamea Gardner. The team concept works over the star.
Right.
And I mean, if you have a team full of stars, then that's really great. I mean, and that's what Vegas has been winning on. But
I
um,
I'm
I don't
honestly
know.
looking for the Storm.
I'm much
This,
more into the we.
yeah, me too. Well, you have to be. I think because we grew up with that. It wasn't just one person. It was,
Yeah,
a team. Plus, that gets old. I'm sure when you're on the team and
yeah.
here's
Well, there's no
the
I
good
in
stuff.
team.
Sue Bird is going to be joining NBC and
Oh
Peacock
yes,
for
I
the
saw that.
WNBA season. She was there
Yeah,
last night too.
yeah, that's cool.
Tina,
Yeah,
I think Tina
yeah. She
Williams
had
was
mentioned.
there.
Yeah, I watched some of. I watched her a touch more. They haven't been doing as many videos lately, but she said there was something big coming up. So I'm
Yeah,
sure that's what it
that's
was.
what it
Which
is. That
that's cool.
probably there goes the podcast. Now she'll probably still do it. She's got it in,
She's
but good
really
for her.
busy. She's probably, I bet you she's more busy now than she ever was when she was playing.
She's more
Like,
busy than Diana Taurasi on a Dick's commercial. That's all I
it'd
see
be
here.
interesting to see what Diana Taurasi does.
Yeah,
Because I saw her interviewed. Someone was asking her, and she goes, I just had to get away for a while. Like,
yeah, I
no
get it.
basketball, no
I
nothing.
get it.
I get it too.
She has a camp. She had a camp for the younger kids, and yeah, just to chill for a little bit
Yeah.
till
Yeah.
you
Just to
figure out
like
what you're
let the
gonna do.
weight off your shoulders.
Yeah,
She's just, I mean, she has so many options. Like, but she may
like
just
she
say,
doesn't
"Yeah,
have
I
to
got
do
enough money."
anything. She doesn't have to do anything.
She doesn't. That's what I was just about to say.
In that position, man, I would love that.
I mean, she made huge bucks over in Russia,
Yeah.
and,
No, she's not hurting.
excuse me. How much did she make off those commercials she did? And
Yeah.
she's not, I'm sure she's not hurting for money.
No.
And
Like some of the older in the league
oh
who
yeah.
probably
Oh,
are.
speaking of which, I caught a video on YouTube. Sorry, I'm gonna sneeze again, I think.
It's allergies. Do you have stuff out there?
Yeah. Well, we
Because
just
my
had a week of
allergies are
rain.
brutal. Of course, I have a
We
big
just had a
nose, but
week of
geez,
rain and everything. Excuse me.
bless you. God
We
bless
just
you.
had, and today it's sunny, so I
Yeah,
know I was sneezing a lot yesterday too.
me too.
Did you see what was it, Naismith? What was it? They had they called it the Naismith Five,
Yeah.
and there's a video on YouTube, and they have Annie Myers,
Oh, wow.
Drysdale,
Yeah.
Nancy Lieberman, Cheryl Miller, Lisa Leslie, and the last person I didn't know who that was, but she was someone from that era, one of the bigs from that era. Um, and they all came together in what they called the Naismith Five. Let me see if I can find this. But it was a great discussion on, you know, how far the game has come, and like there's a Nancy Lieberman Award. There is a see if I can find this.
I saw a thing on Lieberman was talking on Instagram the other day. Someone interviewed her, which was neat to see because I remember
Mhm.
watching her as a kid and
Oh
how
yeah,
she used to play in New York, in different parts of New
yes.
York on playgrounds, and she just got ridiculed at home for being a girl who played
Oh
sports
yeah.
and why would you do that? And I'm like, yep, been there,
Oh
done
yeah.
that,
Oh,
totally understood that story.
the stuff we had to go through during
Yeah.
those days was just I'd hear these guys with big fat bellies telling me that, oh, the women's game is just a different game. Like, no, it's not.
Yeah.
Just because the guys can dunk, so it's a different game. No, it
Yeah.
isn't. You put a
No.
ball in a hole. That's the game.
Yeah. The game is to score points. One with the most
Exactly.
points win. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're becoming a YouTube aficionado.
Well, I'm retired, so I have all this. Oh, there it
Good for
is. The
you.
Naismith Five. Here, let me, let me put the camera over here.
All right.
Here's this.
Here. I'm so excited. All right. We're going to open up with a super fun icebreaker and
Cool.
then we'll talk
I
about
have to
the
watch that.
awards in a little bit more detail. But I want to pose this fun
There's the
Yeah,
thing,
I
and it
gotta
was a
watch that.
great. It's a great discussion. Just look up Naismith 5. I don't know who
Hey,
the
you're
lady is
chopping
here in
your
the
head
corner.
off. Don't chop your head off.
Oh, I did. Oop, there we go. Sorry, the
I'm
camera
like,
fell a little
I'm like talking to your boobs. I'm like, what the hell?
bit. Katrina McLean is the other player. I knew who she was, but I couldn't remember her name.
Yeah,
It's
I would
been
like to watch that. That'd be
Yeah,
cool.
Cheryl Miller, Lisa Leslie, Ann Myers Drysdale, Nancy Lieberman, and Katrina McLean. And they basically are started doing these the Naismith, the Hall of Fame. They put these, but each of them, because there's a Lisa Leslie award, there's a Cheryl Miller award, there's
Right,
a Nancy Lieberman award for the point guard, and then there's an Annie Myers Drysdale for shooting guard. And
right.
they all have these awards. So they were talking about how they pick those, and it was a really good discussion. If you
Yeah.
haven't seen it, it's
No, I'm gonna watch. I gotta watch that.
it happened to come up on my feed, and I went, "Oh, whoa! I'm listening to this." What's
Yeah.
interesting is all these other players are like our age, except Lisa Leslie. I mean, people think Lisa Leslie, but Lisa Leslie is good, what, 10 years younger than us.
Yeah, I know. Rub it in. Hey, we should get sponsored by Diet Coke and Evian water. Hang on.
That's my drink of choice. Water's too boring for me.
Yeah,
Although I drink water.
I never did. Well, probably the last 20 years, I'm a big water drinker, but when I'm growing up, no.
Well, I've gotten dehydrated a little bit, so I make sure I drink at least a liter of water a day
Yeah,
in addition to. But like Annie Myers Drysdale, she's got to be almost 70 because you figure she was a senior in college when I was a sophomore in high school. So that's 6 years ahead of me, and I'm about to be 64. So she's pushing 70. Nancy Lieberman was right behind her.
right.
Cheryl Miller is what, your age, right?
Yeah, I met her
She's
at Connecticut Sun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
she's
then
nice. Nice person.
yeah, I mean Cheryl Miller I mean if you're old enough to have seen her play.
She had that look like not too many people, unless you're older, know even who she is. She could walk around.
I mean I'm sure people have heard of her just because
Yeah,
her
but I
brother
mean, at
Reggie was
different
a
venues, like you'd look and you'd be like, "Oh, wow, it's Cheryl Miller," And I went, "Hey, Cheryl," and she turned. I said, "Man, I used to watch you as a kid," and then she looked at me like, "We're not that much difference, but you got in." She
well, I
goes,
mean
she
it's
goes,
amazing that a knee injury took her out. I mean
yeah, she
nowadays
goes,
she would have just
thanks.
got surgery
Yeah, exactly.
and but the surgery back then was nowhere near her. I mean an ACL
No,
would just take you out.
that's just a normal thing
Yeah, now they have like multiple.
nowadays.
Did you see there was a touch more they did like a thing at the I think it was at the final four, and they were interviewing Shay Ralph, and you remember
Yeah,
she played at UConn,
yeah,
and she had
yeah.
gotten
Coach of the
when
year.
Sue Bird came in, she had gotten that knee injury, and then
Yeah.
she got another one, and then she came all the way back, and then she got another one. So she had three knee injuries, and then she was just
Right.
like, okay, I'm done. And how sad is that?
Well, if you look at AZ Fudd's knees, look the same way, straight down the middle.
I know that's the worry. It's like, I worry about Olivia Miles' injury too. Like, I watched, as you know, I went to the Sacramento Elite Eight game and I watched DCU play, and Olivia Miles didn't even make it through the whole game.
Now,
I mean, and I've seen her get injured. So I don't know. I mean, I wish the best for her, but
well, yeah, of course.
I don't trust.
But they also know, let's try this, and if not, we could
There's
pick
another
somebody up
draft next year.
or snag somebody,
I mean, because
snag
look who's
somebody else.
coming down the pipe. Look who's
Yeah,
coming down the pipe. And
that's, I
there's
mean,
players we don't even know about yet.
no,
Like,
a lot of the lower list, I didn't know last night at all. I was like, never really heard of. I was just happy I was happy for all of them they got picked. Doesn't matter what number you are.
Yeah.
It matters that you got chosen,
Yeah, because there's players that didn't get chosen. I
right?
mean, like players that that didn't get, Reagan Beers didn't get a
Yeah,
chance. I mean, she still may get a training camp contract somewhere.
right. I think
So
a lot of those will. That'll happen.
how do you know how much the pay scale is just to get picked?
Now,
Like I know
I
the
was looking for that.
first pick gets like $500,000,
Yeah, easy got 500,000.
and then it progressively goes down. So like Lauren Betts got like 450,000. And then it just starts going down from there. I know that, but I don't know this. But like the third round picks, and then
I
there's
don't know.
the other argument that you're hearing about the taxes. Like, oh, people don't want to come. Well, I was listening to some guy talk about the fact that wherever they are that week, that's the tax thing that they get paid on. So if they're traveling around and they're in Tennessee, well, you wouldn't be in Tennessee. If you're in Dallas that week playing when you get paid, that's the tax thing you get.
Bracket, yeah.
So all this rigmarole about what the taxes are based on where the team is based is hogwash.
Right.
It all probably evens out.
I'm sure it does. I'm sure it does. It doesn't, man, it doesn't matter. When you're our age and looking at them getting the
Yeah,
opportunity,
none of that matters. If you're
it
worried
doesn't
about
matter.
taxes, you should be worried about how much, you just want to make as much as you can within
Exactly.
reason.
And
And
know
the
that
taxes don't
something
matter.
could happen. It's like
Yes.
everybody in this world, really. You need to save because something's going to happen. You're going to get
Yep.
older or something's going to. So they just have to be smart about it. And if
Yeah,
they
they
have the
do.
right people around them, they will be.
Well, just don't
Because
invest in something crazy.
exactly.
Like the thing that always got me, like you get these football players and baseball players, especially. I mean, baseball players have the longest careers because the injury factor is less in baseball,
Right.
and they make these millions. Like why are you even bothering to invest that? Like,
Right.
just stick it in a money market, and you never have to worry again in your life.
I
There's
know.
no way you could lose it. Okay, you got to pay taxes, but still, it's never going to catch what they're making 20 million, 20, 40, 50 million dollars every year.
Yeah.
Like, why would you risk investing that? I understand, okay, money makes money or the whole, but you're risking losing it. Like, especially if you're not someone that is verse in those areas, you
Right.
want to trust someone with $50 million?
Now, and like I said, especially with the girls, over the course of your lifetime, if you're lucky to be able to make it to, let's say, 80, right now you're young, you know, 80 is a long time. Be smart
They're not
about it.
thinking about that, but yeah, I
Yeah,
didn't think about that
no.
when I was
But
that age.
we're telling them that. Don't be
Yeah,
stupid. Don't be stupid. Listen, everybody gets old or older and shit happens.
yeah,
Prepare, So I'm glad that we got a good team to at least start off. Interesting to see what Brittany Griner brings later in her years.
yeah,
We'll see what happens with Tina Charles. I'm looking forward to. I was glad that Kathy came out last night looking like a pickle. She likes green or a dollar bill, however you want to look at it. And I'm looking forward to looking at the Mystics. That is
yeah. The
my
Mystics.
team.
Yeah,
So I have two teams, Connecticut Sun and the Mystics. And behind them would be Seattle. How about
mm-hmm.
you?
Well, Valkyries for me.
Yep,
I'm always going to be partial to the Valkyries, but I
right.
liked Washington last year. I was when they weren't playing the Valkyries. I was rooting for Washington last year. So yeah, no, I mean, the thing is, I like all the teams.
Yeah,
Uh, Um, although Vegas is kind of, I liked Vegas a few years ago, and now it's just kind of like, I mean, I don't hate them or anything. I don't hate any team,
no,
and
there's just more excitement from the newbies that are coming in. It's an
yeah,
older team, Vegas, And
Mm-hmm.
it ought to be interesting to see how, like, even Asia Wilson pairs up to a Betts.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, you got younger and there's taller players, so Asia
Yeah.
Wilson isn't going to have a height advantage.
No,
And
that's what I'm
it's like,
saying.
yeah, yeah. But
It's going to be fun.
it's going to be interesting to see how the veteran teams are going to match up against these younger, more energetic teams.
Well,
And
they'll slow you down with bulk, body size, and the
yes,
knowledge of the game. What you used to have in speed, now you use this and
right,
create things in other ways.
right. And then I mean, eventually the ball just becomes part of your hand. When you're shooting, I know from just my own experience, towards the end of the season when I was playing at Rhode Island, like I used to, I mean, it wasn't when I was doing my shooting drills, the ball just felt part of like I had so much control of the ball with my hands because I was always doing these ball handling drills that when I shot the ball, it wasn't a matter of just trying to shoot to get it to go in the basket. I was trying to get the net to hook.
Right.
Like when I would shoot, I would try and get the net to hook, catch the net on the thing. And it's more of a focus of, like in softball, like one of the, especially fast pitch, when you're not looking to just hit the ball. When you're looking at the ball coming out of the pitcher's hands, you're looking for the seams.
Yeah.
It's like a more concentrated focus to get you to not only hit the ball, but hit it solid. And as you get more and more experience and more reps, it just becomes, and I'm sure I can't even
Natural.
imagine. Like, I remember after I moved out here to California, we were playing, I was playing with a bunch of like old SF State, San Francisco State, and Cal players. And because we were all in the same boat, there was nothing for us. And we were playing in these rec leagues and we were playing in Kezar Stadium in San Francisco. And, by then the smaller ball had come in. So, and I have large hands because I could palm on a good, not all the time, but if my hands were just a little sticky, I could palm the men's ball. But the women's ball, I could palm. And I was like, oh, this is cool. And I noticed immediately how much better I could shoot. Like my shooting percentage went up
Right.
because I just had more control of the ball. And, just knowing what that was for me and my little thing,
Yeah.
what it is for these pros now. And then I was watching somebody's, I think it was Kiki Rice. There was a video on Kiki Rice and what her workout routine was. And it's like she gets up at like 6 and then she goes to the gym and then she does these workouts and then she's in the and I'm like, holy crap, man, we had 2-hour practices. That was it.
Yeah.
That was it. There was no, you were going to school the rest of the time. And there was no, I mean, occasionally I would get in the gym on the weekends or whatever to do some shooting. And I'm like, holy crap, she's been in the gym 3 times a day.
Yeah.
Like, wow. Like, I mean, I kind of figured that's what it would be, but there were specific things like, and then UCLA has, they feed their players. Like there's breakfast for them all set up, all these, it's like a breakfast bar. Like,
Yeah.
here you go, because, and then all this training stuff in the weight room. And then out, she has a training partner, this guy that was with her the whole time. And he's like a rebounder. And I was like, oh man, what I wouldn't have give for something like that.
Yeah.
Holy
I know.
crap.
That's exactly right.
We didn't have any of that stuff. I mean, we had to figure it out by ourselves.
Yep.
And there was no one around to help you. There was nothing. And you see the difference that it makes. Like, look at how good, you're getting 50, 40, 90 players.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Over the years, they've learned what's worked
Yeah.
and improved with each year. And then you throw in technology and the different things that you could do and the money that they spend too on trainers and their squads, their own team squads. We didn't have any of that.
Oh,
Take
there was
yourself
no
up.
support whatsoever. Like, it
Take
was
yourself
lucky.
up.
Like, well, hey, well, we got, training facilities, but they weren't, you had to go in there. There was
Right.
no,
You have to be there at a certain time. Here's a nutritional plan. Here, well, no,
oh, we didn't even have any. I mean, I don't remember having any of that. They didn't even
no,
talk about it. It was like,
no.
okay, here's practice. Here's what we're working on. Here we'll do shooting drills for a while. We're doing, skill stuff. Then we're working on our offense or, working on team defense. And that was it. It
Yeah.
was like,
No, nutrition wasn't even a thing. They didn't have calories on wrappers, and I don't even think we had wrappers. Who the hell knows what the hell we had back then? Jesus,
it was,
right?
well, we had rappers. There was
Yeah,
stuff on, but there wasn't, they were just, I mean, it was, everybody was all just trying to figure it out. And
right.
then there was no help. There just was no help. I mean, I think if I remember correctly, okay, we were, they didn't call it this then, but it's like basically I played at a mid-major school. Now I look at because I went to look up when the whole URI coaching thing changed, and I looked up how much she made, and I was like, oh my God, our coach I think made 50,000. She might
Right.
have made 35,000.
Right.
And so even looking into like when I was a player, I had a work study job, and my work study job was answering the phones in the coach's office. So I got to see a lot of what went on, and then they shared offices. So it was like there were like they each kind of had I mean, it was one office with like 2 or 4 desks in there. So you had like the field hockey coach, the basketball coach, and like the track coach in one office. And they each had their own desks. So they would talk to each other and stuff, and you'd answer the phones. And I started to see what was going on, and I'm like, oh my God, I can make more money at the post to deliver mail at the post office than I could to be a
Exactly.
Division I college coach.
Hmm.
And I thought, oh man, this sucks. And then I looked into being an athletic trainer. I took all the coursework for that. And then I was just like, oh boy, I mean, I was just imagining a football player getting hit in the head, and I have to go out there and treat some football player that's been hit in the head, and his life's in danger. I'm like, oh no, I don't want that.
Been
I don't
there,
want to be in that position.
been there, done that. Yeah.
So there was, and then you find out that, like to be an athletic trainer, big, fairly decent sized school, 24,000.
Yeah, I know.
I was like, oh my
Yeah,
God.
then versus now.
But there was just no future in it. Like you didn't,
No.
and what we went through, there was like, because they had the WBL when we were in high school. The WBL came out and it lasted for 3 years. But we were so used to women's sports failing, trying to get it, trying to get it, trying to get it, and then nope, folds. Softball, we remember Joan Joyce.
Yeah.
They were right there in Connecticut, and they were.
Yep.
I remember in seeing Joan Joyce pitch. Holy
Yep.
crap, man! No one could hit her.
I got a funny story because I went to her camp, and they allowed a couple of campers to hit against her.
Oh God!
I was I volunteered,
Oh
like,
God!
right? So I'm like,
Did you swing when her arm was up
I'm
here?
like, I'm like, holy shit. If she hits me, I don't even
Yeah,
think we had helmets at the
yeah.
time.
We didn't have helmets then.
I was like, if she hits me in the head, I'm like dead because
Yes.
so the first ball, she purposely like whizzed it by me. I'm like, I am absolutely gonna crap myself right here. So I did the next pitch. I closed my eyes really, really tightly. And like you said, I just like timed it. I don't even think her hand was up yet to come
Yeah.
around. And I
Yeah.
just swung. I got a base hit, but
Holy crap!
listen, they gave it to me because it was a bunt. Like it went like, honest to God, it didn't even go a foot. My hands were numb, from the
Oh yeah,
power of
the
the wind.
vibration from the
I
bat.
was
Yeah.
like, they gave me the base. They let me, and she was like, very good. And I'm like, oh my God, that was the scariest moment.
Yeah, that
I
would be
was like,
scary.
holy smokes. Yeah, but that was fun. So yeah,
Well,
that's what we had. Joan Joyce.
yeah, the Connecticut Falcons.
Yep.
I watched them play. I think we were in like junior high. Because you were what, a year behind me or 2 years
Yeah,
behind
one
me?
year. Yeah.
1 year behind me. So I remember I was in junior high, not junior, yeah, junior high. We were at Orchard Hill, and somebody knew they were playing in Meriden, which was 2 towns away from where we grew up. It was like, oh, the Connecticut Falcons. I hadn't, because you didn't have any kind of, unless it was word of mouth, you didn't have knowledge of
No,
anything because nothing was on TV.
no.
They wouldn't even, like, you'd read the paper and they'd have all the men's stuff, high school, all the way down to friggin' Pee Wee, and not one thing about the high school women's, teams. Not
Right.
even a little blip.
Nope.
And it was
I
just
agree.
like, oh, it was awful. Anyway, so someone knew about the Connecticut Falcons, and it was just like, hey, come on, we're going to go to the Falcons game. And I was like, what's that? Yeah, I didn't even know. And I saw them play there was a San Jose team, like foreshadowing, holy crap, I'm going to end up out here in Northern California.
Yeah.
And I watched her pitch. Do you know, after that league had ended, all those players dispersed.
Yeah.
And the shortstop, Sharon Backus, ended up at UCLA. And UCLA, I mean, they're still a powerhouse. I don't know if you've seen any of their softball, but holy crap, they hit like 7 home runs in a game.
Yeah.
And then Megan Grant, who played on the UCLA basketball, she hit 2. Like, just boom, boom.
Yeah.
Well, when I was playing, my senior year, I ended up playing softball because I was a javelin thrower, but my back, and it just didn't work out. Anyway, so my junior year, I'm watching, and we were ranked 14th in the nation, the URI softball team. So we got to play UCLA in the first thing, and it was 3 out of 5. And I watched Debbie Doon and who was the other pitcher? Oh, I hate this old brain stuff. They had 2 pitchers that were over 6 feet tall, and the ball was there in like a split second.
Oh, yeah.
Just anyway, but our team ended up taking them, UCLA, which was the top team, to extra innings, both games. They beat them like 1-0 both games. And I was sitting in the stands watching this, and I was like, Tracy Compton, that was the other pitcher. But they were both over 6 feet tall, and
Yeah.
they're doing that crow hop thing, and then boom, it was coming in. But Sharon Backus was their coach, and she was the shortstop for the Connecticut Falcons
Yeah.
during those days.
Yeah.
So anyway, just fun stuff. All
Yeah,
these
that's-
connections to UCLA now.
That's,
Like,
I know, isn't that? That's ironic.
it's so weird.
is.
And that was we're talking, 45 years ago?
Yeah.
40,
I
yeah.
know.
40 to 45 years ago. And you just like,
Amazing.
whoa. Like, whoa.
Amazing. And here we are. And so when do you want to meet up again?
Well, whenever you like. I mean, I don't know how much more news is going to be coming out. Maybe first week of the season.
Okay. Or that's May, tip-off's May 8th. They're going to have some preseason games, but I don't know what
Yeah,
it's
but
on, whether we'll
we
be
could
able
do
to
the
see them.
preseason games.
But
Yeah.
yeah, we'll check back then.
Yeah.
Okay. And congratulations again. Go
For
Bruins.
what?
For
Oh,
your
the
team.
Bruins. Yeah, the
You
Bruins.
did great. You
It's
did
been
good.
cool.
I thought for sure you were hanging off a tree somewhere. I'm like, yeah, God, Maureen, come down from the tree.
Yeah, I was thrilled.